In this video, I want to show you how to create meal plans with specific macronutrients included. So if you head over to this left-hand panel, you can select the Meal Planning tab. Then hit the Explore sub-tab. From there, hit this Add button in the top right-hand corner. You can now choose from the Automator. In this section, you will just title your plan. I'm just going to write Test Plan here. Anything that you want to show as the description on the plan is what you would write here, description. You can add anything that you'd like, so any details about the plan. So this is something that they would see on the title page. And then from there, you would select the number of weeks. So let's just say we are creating a 1-week plan and we want to include all days, although you can check days off. If, say, for example, you don't want your clients to follow a strict meal plan on Sunday, you could go ahead and select that day off. We'll keep it off for now. And you could select specific meal types that you want to show. So they all come up as checked off to begin with, but you could take away afternoon snack or morning snack if you would like. So then you can go ahead and hit next. And from here, you will see this custom macros range. You can choose from the pre-selected range if you're looking for a muscle building plan, a balance plan, keto, or fat loss. You can go ahead and choose from one of these, or you can head over to this custom macros and set your own ranges. From there, you have to make sure that the ranges show up as a balanced plan. So you can see this green balance section here. So we want to make sure that the limits that we set are falling within that. Now, I would give it at least 10% wiggle room. However, if you really want to narrow down, you could go as low as 5. The system will just have a harder time finding recipes the more narrow you create the plan. So you can adjust the protein, you can adjust the fat, however you want this plan to look is how you would adjust the macros here. And as long as the numbers can add up to 100%, you can go ahead and set that as your target. Now you can also set a daily calorie target. So from here, I'm going to say, okay, we want our meal plan to be within about 1590 to 1730 calories a day. The more, again, range you give it, the wider the search will be for recipes. The more narrow you make it, the less recipes that the system will have to choose from. Now you can also add chat tags. So see where it says search for recipes with these tags. From there, I could choose something such as gluten-free, right? Or if I wanted to choose nut-free. So if I were going to eliminate major food groups, I would do this from the search for recipes with these tags section. So we have nut-free, nightshade-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, corn-free, all within here. Now, if you are excluding a single ingredient, that's where you would go to this exclude ingredient section, such as pineapple. But if you do this, you have to make sure that you choose all ingredients that have pineapple in it. So I would have to choose all of these into this section to make sure that it's truly excluding that ingredient from any of the recipes that will be chosen. Now, I will just continue with this example so that you can see. I'm going to take away the nut-free tag. We'll leave the gluten-free tag, and then you can also include leftovers if you'd like. So this would be the leftovers for the following day. So dinner, that meal, if you want them to have that same meal the following night, it would show up as leftovers. And then you can go ahead and create plan. So now this will generate a plan based on those macros that you set. From here, you can make any edits you wish. So if you say, for example, oh, I forgot to say that my client doesn't like any sort of like nut butters. I'm going to go ahead and delete this pear slices with sunflower seed butter. You can remove this from the plan, and then you can head over to this filter section and replace it with a recipe. In this example, we are choosing a snack recipe. If it was breakfast, you would put breakfast into the tag section. If it was lunch, you would put lunch. And then you can adjust any of these. For example, number of ingredients. If you say my client's really busy, I don't want any more than 4 ingredients for a snack. I don't want it to take them any more than 5 minutes to put together. And then nutrition data for a snack. I want there at least to be 7 grams of protein in their snack, and then you can go ahead and hit apply, and all of the recipes that comply with those parameters would show here, and you can simply drag and drop over to that slot. So from there, you can choose a cover image that you like from the recipes that are included in this meal plan, or you can add your own cover image if you want as well. Once you hit save, we will have to put a tag here. I'm just going to put this as a balanced plan. and hit save. And now you have your meal plan ready to go to share with your client. You can export this meal plan, or you can share it as a link. So if I were to share this meal plan as a link, share via link, I would toggle this on, copy the link, and this is the link that I would share with them. I'll show you what it looks like on their end. This is how it would show up on their end with your business name, your logo, and your website. They can click right on the recipe, see exactly what they need to make and how to make it. And they can also get access to the shopping list and even check off the shopping list if they like, or copy it and save it in a notes app so they can take it to the grocery store. Now, if we go back here, you can also allow exports if you wish, if you want them to be able to download the PDF that you are sending to them. If you are exporting this, make sure to also create the recipe bundle that goes along with it. So you would export the meal plan itself, and then you would hit this create recipe bundle section and export the recipe bundle section to go with it. That way, the files are not too large to fit in an email that you would send over to your client. Now, if you wanted to start from a blank plan, I would head back to the Explore section, hit Add, choose blank. Again, title the plan, write any description you want, and then go ahead and choose the days and the meals, hit save, and you would use that filter button the same way that we showed it in the last example, but here we would be including it for every meal type. So you could put breakfast if we want to start with the breakfast column. We used gluten-free in the last example, so we'll put that tag in here as well. And then for the nutrition data, you would set this per meal. So if you say for breakfast, I want them having anywhere from 400 to 550 calories for breakfast, and I want them to get a minimum of 30 grams of protein, and I want them to have a minimum of 33 grams of carbs as well. And again, apply those filters, and all of the recipes that match will show up here. And as you can see, it's still loading. There are lots of recipes that you could choose from. So then once you drag and drop over, you can select leftovers for the following day if you want, and build your plan out from a blank slate as well. You can always delete these columns as well. If you don't want snack, you decide later that you don't want it. Maybe you put Saturdays in and you want to remove that, and you can add them back by using this button. That is how you create a meal plan from a specific macro range.